Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another episode on our Minecraft survival. How you guys doing today? You know, I'm doing really good. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. I'm having a really great day. We are back on the island, and I haven't done anything since last episode. Usually I have like this long list of things that I've been doing, but legitimately nothing has happened since you guys left off. It's actually been a day since we last let off, but I've been busy with other things. And well, I can't really say that. I've grown this. It's a little bit longer. I'll take that out of context. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing fantastic. It is Friday, weekend mode engaged. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope I do as well. I'm recording this before the weekend, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Probably working. Anyhoozle, last episode, if you guys missed it, we implemented some things. We changed around some stuff, and we put some new things in. So if you guys missed that, or if this is the first video of the series that you guys are watching, I always like to recommend it. Check the description. There's a playlist down there. If you guys want to go watch that from the very beginning, I highly recommend it. It'll make a lot more sense. That way you guys can see the progress. All right, enough self-plugins out of the way. Today, I was thinking about what I wanted to do today. And it actually involves this giant tower. So I need to rectify my huge mistake from last episode, which is get new armor, get our tools back online, but I can't do any of that because I have no XP. No XP, and now all of our 6P cows are gone. So let's make a mob spawner. I have decided I want to make a mob spawner. That's the reason why that's all the way up there. So that's going to be our project for today. I want to try to get a mob spawner going, and I'm going to be using the olden style mob spawner-esque deal, which if you guys don't know what that thing is, I'll explain it more in detail when we start making it, but it's basically a big spawning platform. Well, it's basically a platform with spawn pads above it and then makes them drop down. I make it every year. I decided to do that one instead of that like fancy redstone-y one because it's a lot easier, it's a lot simpler, it's a lot faster to make, and I do plan on doing the more efficient mob spawner in the future. You know, that one, really the one that a lot of people use on like on multiplayer servers, like I know Mumbo does it, like a lot of the hermit crafters make it. It's more so for drops. I want this one for XP. I know you can modify it, but at the same time, I need something quick and simple and easy for you guys if you guys are interested in making it. So this mob spawner requires 0 redstone. I'm excited to make it. I've already got most of my stuff in my ender chest that I'm going to be needing. Lots of building blocks. I'm probably just going to make it out of stone. Now, if you guys are going to be doing this at home, I'm going to probably say this again when we get up there, but try to find a place without any area around it so that way it doesn't limit the spawns. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of glaciers, so that's probably gonna have a problem. I don't know. We might have to light some things up. I'm hoping we don't. But to prep for this, I've got blocks. That's about it. I don't have a lot of stone, so we're probably gonna have to go get some stone. It's funny because last episode I had no dirt, so I actually went and got a bunch of dirt, and now I'm probably gonna have to go get some stone. I do have a soak touch pick. I put soak touch on this, and I might have to put efficiency on it as well, so that way I can go get some stone. Yeah, that day when you have to strip mine for stone. So yeah, I'm gonna grab some stuff together. And I'll meet you guys at the very top of that, and we can go ahead and get started with this. All right, so we're currently all the way up on top of this tower. So if any of you guys are afraid of heights, clench that sphincter and don't look down. So currently we are located at Y level 200. I always like to start the spawner up on 200. And again, if you got vertigo, this is probably not going to be the best segment for you. But if this was real life, I would already peed myself. Anyhoozle, I recommend going up as high as possible. I usually do 200 just because the mob farm itself is about 30, it varies. I usually only do 2 layers on it, which goes up to about 35 blocks-ish, somewhere in there. So the top of the spawner will be at somewhere around 235-ish, somewhere in there. And of course, block limit is 255. So you could technically go up another level, but I usually don't. It doesn't really do much for me. Anyhoozle, start at Y level 200 if you want to. If you want to go down a little bit, you can. Anyhoozle, now grab some blocks and don't fall. Don't fall. Oh, I hope I don't fall. Okay, so I'm just going to create myself just a tiny little platform, and then I'm going to kind of go out in that direction just a little bit, in that direction just a little bit, and then kind of give myself a little bit more room to walk. If you are going to be doing this at home, again, I recommend finding an ocean biome. Number one, find an ocean biome and build this thing over an ocean because it's going to increase your spawn rate significantly. I don't think, spawn rates have changed over years. Now, a long time ago, you would have problems with mobs spawning down in these areas, like on these glaciers, underneath the ground, underwater, all that stuff. Spawns would spawn down there. I don't think they do it much anymore, but just to be safe, I always like to recommend building the spawner over water. Now, if you're going to be building it over water, I recommend doing it over a deep ocean. That a way that you don't have all of this stuff around me. Now, I'm going to be building it here just for the simple fact that I like the view. The view's awesome. Is that not cool? I can't wait till we start actually working on this. It's going to look great when it's finished. But that's the reason why I'm doing it here. And I've got glaciers. It's just a thing. Hopefully it doesn't cause me any problems. I know I'm still crouching. I am so afraid of falling. If I fall, it's not that big of a deal. I'm probably going to fall into water. But having to climb that again was terrible. But yeah, go up to 200. Build yourself a platform. All right. So now that you've got your platform done, what you're going to want to do is find your center point. Now, I didn't do like super extravagant platform. I just wanted to give myself a little bit of room so that way I could walk around it. I might have an enchantment table behind it too, just because it'll make it a lot easier. Because, of course, I'm coming up here for XP, so I'm going to be getting XP and then going around it to do some enchanting. So, and then, of course, I needed room to walk around it. So, yeah, I guess you could do just a giant square, but if I'm going to have to see it from the bottom, I want it to look kind of cool. So, anywho, so find your center point, which mine is right here-ish. Am I in the right spot? Perfect. Okay, so this is my center point, so I'm going to go bam. And then what I'm going to do is give me some more dirt so I can visualize this. I'm going to have a 3x3 tunnel. This is where your mobs are going to end up collecting, and you're going to want to build around this just like so. And then take this entire column. You can keep these corners out if you want, but I'm going to keep them just because they kind of look a little bit better. And I'm going to bring this up 21 blocks. Now, there used to be an old design. This farm was a little bit particular. Back in, I think, whenever this farm first started becoming like a big thing, it's been around forever. I've seen people back when they were playing 1.1.2, even before 1.3 came out, people were still using this farm. This thing's been around forever. But there used to be a mechanic to allow you to one-hit mobs. Now, I don't think it works anymore because the mob values and their health have changed significantly over time. So I bet you there is a way to get them to one-hit. This is not one of those designs. Basically, you're trying to get the most amount of mobs in the single spot as possible. And then, of course, you kill them with a sword, get the XP, blah, 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 blah. Now that you have mending, it's not really that big of a deal for a sword. And if you have a lot of hit points, I mean, if you have a really good sword, it kills everything in one hit anyways. So, yeah, that's a thing. So, bring this up 21 blocks. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, and I gotta go up another few. Nom 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 nom. Ooh, I'm getting a little lag up here. Ooh, a little laggy on the thing. I just reloaded the world. All right, so now that you've got your 3x1, I know I said 3x3, but it's 3x1. So you got 1, 2, 3 open blocks, and you've got your thing around it. Now that this is done, it's up 21 blocks. Ignore this, I fell a couple times. But once you get this done, what you're gonna do is go from the center point, being this point right here, you're gonna go out 10 blocks in every single direction. So you've got this center point. So you got 1, 2, counting with Ballentinelp, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you're going to do the same thing on this end as well. So you've got 1 block. This is your center point. So this one actually counts. So you've got 1. This is your center point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you're going to make a square. A very nice square platform. So you're gonna go out 10 blocks on each one, just in case guys can't count to 10. Here we go. Center point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And last but certainly not least, center point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then, of course, you're going to make a square. Oh, come on! It was going to happen eventually. Dadgummit! I need to come down. Shoot. I need to get more stone anyways. I meant to do that. We're just going to chalk that down as me meaning to do that, even though we all know I didn't mean to do that. Alright, so now that my horrific moment of terror is over, how about we get back to the spawners? So, I have done a little bit of strip mining since we last cut off, so that way I can get some more stone. And now, if you've done everything correctly, you should have yourself a 21 by 21 square. Now, technically, you could have a 19 by 19 square. That is what we're going to be building in, but I have this lip around it, so it's going to make it a lot easier for me in a few minutes to make the curtain around it. So what you're going to want to do now is find any corner of any corner. Just choose a corner. Now, ignoring, if you did a 21 by 21 square like I am doing right now, ignore this lip. If you only did a 19, then this will be the end point, but I'm going to ignore the lip here, and I'm going to start right here. So if you got a 21 by 21, do exactly what I'm doing. If you have a 19 by 19, this should just be the corner piece. So, anyhoozle, ignore the lip for 21 by 21 and do a 3 by 3. You're gonna skip 2, do a 3 by 3. You're gonna skip 3, do a 3 by 3. Now, if you did this correctly, this should be your center point. Correct, sweet. And then you're gonna skip 2 again and do a 3 by 3. And then you, of course, you should have your lip around it if you did a 21 by 21. So you're just gonna do that all the way around it. You're gonna skip 2, 3 by 3. Skip 3, 3 by 3. This should be the center point. Correct. Skip 2, 3 by 3. And then you'll do this all the way around. Sweet. Okay, so now what you're gonna wanna do, you're gonna have a 4 by 4 here. Now on this corner of the bit 4 by 4, you're gonna stick another 3 by 3 right here. You'll have these 3, of course, opening. You'll have a 3 by 3 right here. Nope, come back, get inside of me. Have that there. Now you should have a 4 by 4 here. And then you're gonna have skip 3, another 3 by 3. Skip 3, 3 by 3. Of course, you'll have this tunnel here, 4 by 4 there, 2, 3, perfect. Now, if you get all of your spawning platforms correctly, it should look something to the effect of this. All right, so now what you're gonna wanna do, take each one of these up by 3 blocks. All right, so now that you got your columns all set, make sure they're 3 high, find a corner, any corner, and then lay a line of blocks on this corner, and then do it for all the other corners, just like so. These are where your water streams are gonna end up going. And then do this, and then this, and then one more, just like so. And then also, on these 3 by 3 bits, on the very end, place yourself some blocks just like so. These are also where your water streams are gonna go. Make sure you do it on all 4 corners. And if you've done everything correctly, it should look something like this. Now, if you're not like me and you actually have your water, great. But me, I forgot it. And I have no other way to get down. I'm really glad that didn't kill me. I was pretty sure it was going to. I didn't bring any water. Tag coming. I gotta go all the way back down there now. Wow! Alright, your boy's got some water. Now he's no longer thirsty. Okay, so now that you've got your water buckets, I would also grab some slabs. This is where you're going to want to start planning out the curtain around it. Now, I use stone slabs just for aesthetic feel, but you really don't need to have stone slabs. But if you do have stone slabs, make sure you do what I do, because if you put them in the wrong spot, everything's going to be pretty much pointless. So what you're going to want to do now is this is where your water is going to be. So unless you want it to flow out this way, I would recommend taking some slabs or any block and placing it behind them. Now that's the reason why I have this lip here, because it makes it a lot easier to place these than having to kind of teeter off the edge and then almost, you know, especially, I don't want to fall. I really just don't want to fall. So yeah, make sure you do this just like so, all the way around on these edges. Now, if you're using slabs, make sure it's on the half block and not on the full block. There is a difference between this and that block. There is a huge difference because one of them lets in light, the other one doesn't. So make sure it's on the half block. And the way that you can really clarify whether or not your slab is on the half block is by looking at your Y value on your thing. If it says 222.5, it's correct. If it says 222 or 223, that is incorrect. Make sure it's on the half block. If it's on the full block, then it won't work. Light's gonna get in, bad things, it's just not a good time. So make sure it's on the half block. Okay, so now that you've got your curtain all the way around it, go ahead, just to do it now, place yourselves a slab in the middle of all of these columns, because what that is going to do is when we do put the roof on eventually, which is what I've started planning here, no mobs will be able to walk across that. So once we get to that stage, I'll reiterate this again, but you should not be able to walk on top of this slab whenever the roof's on. So what you're going to want to do next, take your 2 signs, put one there, doesn't really need to have anything on them, and then this is where the fun part begins. You're going to start playing around with some water. So water itself is kind of complicated, but I should be able to get you guys through this. Relatively simple. So place water blocks there and there and do it on all 4 of the corners. Now this is going to be a pain in the butthole because I do not have Death Strider anymore. Sad panda. And we'll put one there. And one there. And one there. This is quite frankly the hardest part of the farm itself, is trying to get the water to go correctly. Generally speaking, I've got a surefire way of getting it to work. Now, it usually works. Now that I say that it's going to, it's probably not going to. Bam. I'm hoping I don't think I've got enough water source blocks, but if I have to, I'll dive down, come back up here, and it's just, I know it's a pain in the butt, but I do it for you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and put these here as well. And no, don't freeze. I guess since we're up that high, we're gonna have that problem up here. But once we get the roof on, I'm not gonna have to worry about them freezing. So if they are freezing on you, don't worry about that, because once you get the roof on, it's not gonna be a problem. So yeah, there we go. So let's place that there, and there, and there. You're gonna end up putting water source blocks on all of the corners as well. On all of these guys, and all of those guys, and all of those guys. Let me get that real quick. I'm gonna have to go down and get some more water buckets. I should have brought more water. Alright, so I've got all of the water blocks in place around the corners, and I've also started working on getting the roof on. That way I can kind of demonstrate what I was talking about earlier. Make sure you can't walk on this block. So I guess this should have been a disclaimer at the very beginning of the episode, but this mob works on zombies, creepers, and skeletons, and witches. No endermen, no spiders. No spiders. Spiders break everything. So make sure that you cannot walk on this. If you can, that means that spiders can spawn and the whole farm will basically just blow up. Not really, but basically. So now that you got everything in place, and this also helps everything from stop from freezing. So yeah, that was a problem. So now that you've got all of the water in place, we still got a couple of spots we're gonna need to fix. So if you could see me getting dragged, I get stopped right here. Now to stop all of the mobs from getting caught in this one little area, and unfortunately it's on all of the corners, so every corner has one of these. So what you're going to want to do now is dig into one of these pillars. Of course there'll be like an L shape, and one of these pillars right here, dig back 2, and then place a water source block. And what that's going to do is, at least it used to. Maybe it's only 1 block? There we go. Okay, so it's only 1 block. I thought it was 2. So dig back 1 block and place a water source block, and that's going to redirect the flow into this stream right here. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that one more time. Let's go take that out, put that there, should redirect the stream perfectly. There we go. So we see the before. This is stopping me here. If I take that out, put that there, it'll redirect the stream, and then I get sucked into this spot. So what you're gonna do on all of these corner bits, I know there's like a little pillar here, on all of these guys adjacent to them, you're gonna take out 1 block, stick a water source, redirect the stream, perfect, and then do the same thing on this one. There we go. And this one. Bam. And this one. Bam. And I think this one is the last one. And if you did everything correctly, your water stream should be perfect. And everything will then be funneled into this spot right here, which is your exit point where everything's gonna end up going. So yeah, the last thing you're gonna wanna do now that everything is done is just stick the roof on and then stick the curtains on the end. So make sure each one of these are on the half block if you're using slabs. If you're using full blocks, it's not a problem. I use slabs just because I like this. I think it looks better, and I just personally like the slabs. So if you guys are using full blocks, you guys really don't have to worry about the whole half block thing. But if you're using slabs, make sure they're on the half block. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 and boom. Sweet, it should be finished. Okay, so make sure, final note, that this top piece here is on a half block. So if you decide to do the whole thing in solid blocks, make sure you half slab the top, because if you don't, things will spawn up here and you don't want that. So if you do end up in the future creating another layer, it's very simple to do. All you've got to do is trim around the edges like you did down there off of these. Well, actually, what you're gonna wanna do, if I remember correctly, ignore what I just said. Half slab this again, giving you a full block, and then just repeat the process over again from the very beginning. So basically, you'll half slab the top, and then you'll create your 3x3 here, skip 2, 3x3, skip 3, 3x3, skip 2, skip 3x3. You'll do that all over again, and then just basically recreate the farm over again. From square one. The only difference is in that hole in the 3x3 in the middle, I always recommend putting a piece of vine. Now that's the only reason I'm not going to create a new layer yet, because I don't have any vine. I recommend putting a piece of vine because the holes are going to be in the same spot, and if a mob falls from this height down, sometimes they go straight through and end up dying on the bottom. So I always like to place a piece of vine so that way it stops their descent just a little bit. If you do end up placing a piece of vine, make sure you put a piece of string underneath it, or else it'll grow all the way down and then completely ruin the farm. Okay, now that that is out of the way, I am 99% sure this is going to kill me. I didn't think of a way to get down. YOLO. And then I'll just have to climb back up. Better be safe than sorry. Oh yeah, just by the way, in the future, we're definitely not going to be making this our permanent solution to getting up to the mob farm. We are definitely going to be using those fancy new elevators that involve, you know, the whole suction-y water bubble things. Because this, I've already done this like 7 times today, and it is probably the stupidest thing in Minecraft. Why would anyone ever just use ladders? It's terrible. I hear zombies. Now, if you've done everything correctly, you should just be able to stand right here, and they should start spawning. Now, unfortunately, I need to play around with this. I want to make it where they can't see me, but at the same time, I could still kill them and see them. So let's do... Can't do it that way because I can't remember how I did it in last season. I think I did it like... No, because then that would not enable the XP to get through. The only problem with doing it like this and then just kind of leaving this open, the only problem with that is that mini zombies can still get through, and I don't want that. So let's see, can I do it this way? Yeah, but then I can't see them. Anywho, I'm gonna mess around with this off screen, but they should just start spawning now. So let's see, do I have any up there? I've got 11 entities, 14 entities, so yeah, they are definitely spawning up there. Let's see how fast we can get ourselves some mobs down here. And there you have it, we have ourselves a mob spawner. It is a little bit slower than the one we had last season because it doesn't have both layers on it. So I would recommend, if you are going to be building this thing, to put a second layer on it. This is about 5 minutes worth of waiting, and we've got 46 entities in there. I have noticed them starting to die. Now, I think that's Mojang back at it again with the entity cramming. So there might just be a limit on the amount of mobs that you can have in a limited space because of entity cramming. So after about between 45 and 50 mobs, they start dying, unfortunately, which is just a thing that happens because of Mojang. Now, I do still have things spawning up there. I've got 21 entities up there. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's an E in the top left-hand corner of your screen that's about 5 rows down that tells me the entity count. Basically tells me how many mobs are in a certain area, and that's how I'm basing this off of. So it works pretty well. I like it. It's super simple, super easy, and really cheap. All I used was a bunch of stone. So let's go ahead and just quiet this down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, squirt into me. Give me all of that XP and the lag that goes along with it. I think the lag is just from the fact that I'm so high up, and I don't know. Maybe it's just there's a lot of XP. But yeah, it does work. It's great. Now, I am going to off screen just go ahead and put in a second layer. Again, it's super easy. All you got to do is just make sure the top layer is a full block and then just redo everything over again. And also, I'm going to be adding some storage down below, so that a way I can get some place to put all these mob drops that I'm getting. I have been thinking about what I'm going to do with elevator-wise. I think I'm going to stick them on the sides and then have them go down somewhere. I haven't decided where. Probably like maybe the up will be on this side, the down will be on this side, and then just using the bubble mechanics, and then having a enchantment table back here. I'll do most of that off screen. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for today's episode, guys. I hope you guys had fun today because I had a ton of fun today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. I love making these things. They're really simple and easy, and I would say they're compact, but it's a giant mushroom. So anywhoozle, don't forget to post any questions, comments, or smallmark.com section down there. I love hearing from you guys. If you guys have any questions on this, just let me know down there. I'll try to answer them in the best way that I can. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, and have a great and wonderful rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday.